I just slept so long. It was still in chunks. I think I slept like 5 hours. I went to bed at like midnight, slept for like 5 hours till 5 a.m., went to the bathroom, then slept again till like 12 or 12:30. And I feel fucking amazing. But before I forget, I wanted to talk about dreams. Not the dreams that you think that the world has in store for you in your life. No, like literal dreams. I am making coffee right now. By the way, that's what the noise is. But my dreams the dreams I just had last night felt so vivid, and I felt so connected to them. Before I get into them, I just want to say I feel very strange I feel like the kind of person that I feel more connected to everything that this world has when it comes to ideas, or when it comes to those like out of body things, you know, like dreams or music, things that feel very like I don't want to say spiritual, but beyond this world, I guess, is how I feel about that stuff. I feel that those things are not really. I feel like they're too pure for humans in a lot of ways. Like, I wonder if that stuff it's real. I just sometimes think a lot about that shit that's just beyond comprehension. I find that very interesting. You know, music is, we know how it works literally and physically and theoretically. However, music is still this. I'm always fascinated how music is this it has this vagueness to it. It's like we're so connected to it, but do we understand it really? Like, do any of us really know what music is? It's a mystery in a lot of ways, despite how much there is and how much we've learned about it. Anyway, let's get into my dreams. First, I dreamt that I was in New York City, and my old childhood friend, I keep mentioning him, but it's obviously I'm still processing this person not being in my life anymore. And I think that this person is very unwell and very crazy. So I have a lot of fears of them coming after me, like when he inevitably loses his mind to drugs and alcohol and goes off the deep end. I worry about him coming after me, I think, because I literally just had a dream last night that, I was in New York, I was in Manhattan for fuck's sake, and he was coming after me. I dreamt that he was like chasing me and like wanted to hurt me. I literally, the only bits that I remember, I'm gonna obviously piece together whatever I remember from this shit, from all my dreams. But sorry, I'm probably showing my fucking chest here. I didn't want to put on clothes or anything. I wanted to just get right to the point with y'all. And I don't know how this camera angle looks. I think it's kind of interesting filming with the camera and not with the phone, and not being able to see the other side. I don't want to see what the screen is capturing, you know. And it feels like old school, filming with a camera and not being able to see. Here's I think, before I get into my dreams finally, before I get into what I was dreaming about, I think it's fascinating that I think the reason disposable cameras like Kodaks and why video cameras were more appealing back in the day is because we couldn't see. No, that's not true. We had video cameras where you could flip it, and you could also use an AV cable to plug it into the TV. You could see yourself, but you had to go out of your way to see yourself. And there was a beauty in Kodak disposables just being like point and click, point and shoot, and not thinking about what was being captured. Now with phones being in 4K and these amazing front cameras and this lighting and all this shit, that it's like you can literally see every little, like every time I look at this footage, I'm looking at all my little bits right here that I gotta shave. I'm looking at every little fucking eye booger that I got. I'm looking at every little fucking thing because it's too good. It's too fucking high quality. So okay, the dreams. I'm getting more comfortable, I think, talking with you all like on here versus on the webcam. I can walk around, I can kind of be myself instead of feeling like when I'm locked into the desktop and the web camera, I feel like I'm on a soapbox. Whereas this, I feel like I can just kind of be more personable. So yeah, that's my whole theory why people like that stuff more. I don't think people should see photos and video immediately. Like, I don't think it's good for people to see, you know, that is a big part of what affects young people's self-esteem, is just being able to see every little bit of themselves very clearly, super vividly, as vivid as I felt seeing my dreams last night. They see it so vividly that how can they not like have self-esteem issues when they're seeing every little bit of fucking cellulite and every little bit of what's wrong with their faces and shit. Like, there's nothing wrong with all of you. you're young. You don't know, like, you're not like comfortable in your body enough. Like, I think what's beautiful about 20s and 30s is you finally start to, like, you really feel your physical being a lot more because you're just comfortable with it at that point. You've been around long enough. But when you're a teenager, when you're like a kid, you're just so awkward. Like, the first 20 years of life are just so awkward. So throw a smartphone in there where everyone can see this, just insanely high quality versions of themselves and high quality audio, and it's just awful. It's like, you shouldn't see that at that age because of how awkward and developing you're. Like, you're literally in pre-production for your life. You're in the intro to all of it, the 101 class. You're not there yet. That's all. If you're a teenager and you're young and you feel weird about that shit, you're not alone. Not everyone looks like an adult by the time some people do. Some people look like they're in their 20s by the time they hit 15, and that's where everybody's just different. I didn't have any of this till I was 19 or 20. I didn't have any of my beard until I was like at least 18 or 20 years old, and I didn't feel comfortable in my body till now. I've never felt comfortable in my body. I've always had not self-esteem issues with that, but never really like gave a shit about my body, so I never looked great physically, like below the neck here, and now I feel like I'm focused so much on it that I just have a lot of confidence in it, in myself and in my physical appearance, even if I don't look perfect, because I'm just taking care of it finally. That's all. Just the act of just even taking care of yourself and caring about your health. That alone is what will help your self-esteem, because you're taking care of yourself. You when you're so focused on it and thinking about it constantly, you can't help but feel confident in that shit because of how much you're aware of the attention you're putting into it. Anyway, my dreams, the first dream I had that was the second dream I had. Yeah. So the first dream, I was in New York City and it was really great. And then, my old friend started chasing me, and I literally remember, like, in the dream I was walking into an apartment, and I literally, like, had to, like, I was walking in the apartment trying to get there fast enough to get him to not see me, and then I saw him outside of the window, and I remember literally being in my closet trying to close. It was the scariest feeling. Dreams for me feel like movies a lot of the times, where it's like something happens and there's a reaction from an external force in the dream itself, like something I do immediately affects and impacts what is happening in my dream, because obviously it's all in my head, so it's like I'm in control of all of it, and I want it. I guess my subconscious wants things to be kind of dramatic and exciting in that way, like a movie, because I'm just that kind of person. But I remember, I literally went into this closet, and as soon as I closed the closet door, he was in front of the window and, like, saw me close it and literally, like, pointed at it, and then, like, broke into my house somehow. This is, like, how in my head, like, I guess my subconscious feels that he is a toxic person that's, like, a criminal, that's, like, a bad person. You know what I mean? And he's not. He's just got a lot of issues. And if he's watching these, you shouldn't. You should move on. You shouldn't watch me anymore. You gotta move on with your life. What I realized about letting go of my old friend is that it could have been the best thing I did for him as well as myself, as far as, like, he can't depend on... I didn't want to think that being in his life anymore was going to enable his bad behavior, and me being in his life told him that he can continue acting. He can continuously act the way that however he wants, and continuously act and do whatever he wants, and that I would forgive him every single time. That his family will forgive him. And then it's like, when you finally cut people off, this is where, like, the best thing you could do for your family sometimes, or people that you're close with, is cut them off, or throw them out of your life, because they have to. Sometimes people not only need a hard reset, but they have to learn that they can't treat people like that, even the people that they're close with. That's all. You can't ever get too comfortable with anybody, I've realized. And I think I'm better that way. I think I'm better if I don't ever get too comfortable with anybody, ever. And I'm just always kind of behaving as professional as I do in my real life, as much as I am a professional in my music or any job that I've ever held. Because I just like being professional. So I don't know why I don't do that with my personal life. So yeah, he's chasing me. I close the closet door, and he sees it immediately, breaks into my house, and then I just dreamt that we again got into a fight, where it was like a fight. And then I think in the end I ended up, something happened, whether I got lucky or whether I, in my head was the smart enough protagonist that was able to handle a scary situation. I hope to see myself in that if a scary situation ever happens in real life. I hope that I'm not going to let you can't, like, you have to fight in the world, you know, you have to like give it, you have to try, like, even if you do die in the process of something, you have to try to survive, you have to try to like not lose, you know. So I think in the dream something happened and I end up like maneuvering something and I end up like choking him unconscious. Now I'm not a violent person, but in the dream I literally, like, you know, I don't know if I killed him or if I just knocked him out, but I literally like started choking him like very, very intensely, and it was scary. It was very scary. It's always scary, and I'm sure everyone's had those dreams where they accidentally kill somebody, and then, or somebody dies, something happens, and then you're like, oh my god, my life's over. Like, my life is completely over. But I think that's what happened. I think I like knocked him unconscious and choked him to death. Like, either that or choked him to death, and then I woke up. So that was one of the first time I woke up, and I had to go to the bathroom. And then I went back to sleep pretty immediately. I was telling you guys, of course, I didn't get much sleep at all the day before, so I caught up a lot on it today, and knocked out immediately. Felt great. I was worried about that. I was so concerned, like, oh god, it's 5 a.m. Like, am I just going to be up now? And thankfully, sometimes it's weird. It's either or. Sometimes I'm up and I'm not going to go back to sleep. Sometimes I'm up and I immediately, like within minutes, fall back asleep, quick. I've also realized I don't like sleeping, or I feel very weird. My brain can't shut off and go to sleep because I am so freaked out at the thought of not only dying, but the thought of not being in this conscious reality. I feel so attached to it that even when I'm dreaming and sleeping, the act of knowing that I'm not going to be here for a little while, that my brain is like not here for a minute, kind of freaks me out in some ways. So, I wonder if I'm like, you know, not afraid to go to sleep, but if I find the process of, I literally have always found the process of laying on the bed and knowing that, like, all right, I'm going to shut off now, like we're shutting off the brain now and shutting off that act of that kind of makes me anxious and just kind of freaks me out a little bit, because of how attached I am to this reality. Reality A, or whatever we want to call it. So this is reality A, right? The dream state is reality B, and then death is C, is kind of how I look at it. And I look at dreams as kind of the world, like the way that the world of death is. I think that when we die, it's possible we're just dreaming forever. In a weird way, again, I feel like attached to that. I feel like okay with that. I hope that's what it is, because I feel very alive in my dreams, or I feel more comfortable or more aware, like, Dreams make more sense than this world does, even though they're very strange and they're influenced by this world. It's like if we were a different species in a completely different type of planet, then those dreams would be influenced by that reality. So that's as weird as they both like feed each other. But I hold on to my dreams a little too much, or I take them too seriously, as you can see. So I went back to sleep. Second dream, for some reason, I don't know why, I was on the west coast of Florida, and don't remember the reason why I was driving there, but I ended up in a bar, and I ended up seeing my buddy Frank, who just passed away recently. The weirdest thing was, like, I think I was sitting in the bar, and then I literally, it was before or after this next moment I'm about to tell you about. It was before or after that happened, but at some point I did see him, like, literally just sitting there. I was just like, what the fuck? Are you, like, related to him? Or, like, in my dream even, I was just like, what the fuck are you doing here? Or how are you, like are you, like, I thought it was, like, I was, like, in my head, like, damn, did Frank have a twin brother or something? Because it was literally him. It wasn't some just random guy that looked like him. It was literally him, and like ripped from his pictures on Facebook type of similarity. But either way, I went to this bar, was just hanging out and drinking, and then was like walking by an attractive woman and saw like just some random guy behind her for whatever reason. I didn't care about that and said, hey, what's up? And then the guy kept walking, thankfully, and I was just like, oh shit, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to like keep talking if that was your, I didn't know if that was your boyfriend or not. She was just like, no, and she reciprocated like immediately. It was a very strange feeling. Like in the dream, I said what's up to just some random chick, and like she immediately wanted to start talking to me. Like she showed interest like instantly, and it was like the best I've ever felt in a long time. It was in that dream and just that moment of putting myself out there and like that happening, and I just feel like that's probably happened before. I don't know. I don't remember because of how I never hit on women, and how I never or even when I've tried to throw out a line, nothing's ever really happened or succeeded. It's too hot still. I've just burnt my tongue. I gotta rewatch Anchorman. Yeah, that was like a moment. And then I think in the dream I was talking to her for like hours. I think I got her number, and then I think at some point, like, I don't know, she had to go or I had to go, and then that was it. I didn't see her ever again. And it was like one of those, oh yeah, probably. Like, even in the dream, I was just like, well, that was nice. I'll probably never see her again. After that, I dreamt. After that, I was in some random like plaza / mall parking lot where there was, because it was the West Coast in my dream, it was like they still had like a Disney store, like a giant retail Disney store separate from the mall, or in one of those like Macy's type places where it's in the mall, but it's like a big extension entrance spot, you know, one of those shops, one of those stores or whatever. So I dreamt I had those types of places, and it was like this like wealthy part of the West Coast, this like super suburban or whatever. And then I saw like Sean Penn and his son there. Oh, it's my alarm going off. I also, okay, no, so I did end up, that's freaky that just reminded me of something from my dream, actually. I don't know my context, and I'm just checking the time here. It's freaky, yeah, that just reminded me of my dream, because that reminded me that I did end up seeing the chick from the bar again. Anyway, so I dreamt that I ran into Sean Penn, and there was this whole group of people, and then I just ended up walking away from the group of people, just like, you know what, I'm gonna leave, because I don't really like any of you. It was like after Sean Penn left it, but I literally like dreamt that I met Sean Penn. I was just like shaking his hand. I was like, hey man, like you're I was like, just like, how are you? Or some shit like that. If I ever met like a famous person, I would just be like, I would just kind of want to ask him that. I don't know if I would. I think every celebrity, every famous person is probably answered every single question you could ever think of, you know, about every single piece of work they've ever done. There's countless interviews that it would just be cool to talk to them, just to have kind of a person-to-person moment. Now I say that, but I've like fanboyed over certain people for sure. I mean, like, holy shit, you know. It's not like when I met Bam, I was asking him that. Like, I met Bam a little while back at like a local comic book store, and was just like telling him how much I've watched all of his shit. More so, I immediately was like, dude, I'm the biggest fan ever. I watched everything. I've even watched Ming Hags, and he was just like, oh yeah. And we were like laughing about like the edit from CKY2K, the transition from Hyper Ballad by Bjork to the Iceland incident. It was just a quick moment, and then all of a sudden we had to take pictures with him, me and my ex-girlfriend, and then it was it. That was like very quick. And he was just trying to be all like happy and show everyone that he was like all good. Meanwhile, at the time, like I think the manager that he was with, like I said hi to him, and he was just like, dude, this has been the craziest last. He was just talking. He like seemed so stressed and uncomfortable. So back to the dreams. Yeah, I dreamt that Sean Penn was there, then he left, and I left all those people, and then I started going for a run. All of a sudden, I was like going and exploring those retail stores I was talking about. Went for a run. And then that was it. And then I woke up. Oh, you know, after that, what am I saying? After that, no, I went to that chick's house, and she was listening to Tycho. And I think her dad was there. I think I didn't end up visiting her, even though I like basically just met her or whatever. And then I think her dad was there, or both her parents. Like she like lived with her parents, or vice versa, whatever the fuck. And I went in, and she was listening to Tycho. It was just like, it was like one of these moments where it's like, damn, is this how it would feel if I met like a potential, you know, woman of my dreams, or like a wife, or whatever the fuck. Like would it be just that easy? Would it be so instantly like flowing and you know, and instantaneously receptive and just like a mutual like response to each other? Like that's kind of all I would ever want from someone, is like limitless, you know, limit like an unlimited amount of like giving love and giving like that good energy to each other. You know what I mean? Like I would never want to. I don't think I've ever felt like that with any of my ex-girlfriends too. It's like I've never felt like there was, and that's because we live in America and we're young people, and it's like a struggle. It's like that's been a big part of my issues with my relationships too. Not gonna lie, not just. It's like I don't blame any of my exes for having expectations or wanting all these things and comparing themselves to their friends or whatever, because that's the world. That's what living in America is. You're either quote unquote winning and married, have a house that's yours, and have a good job, and it's like that's all that people care about, is like feeling like they're still succeeding. People my age, millennials, feel like they want to feel like they're still succeeding in a time where everything is like fucked up and nobody is succeeding at all. You know, they want to feel like, well, at least I got my shit together. I'm sorry that the world is hard for everybody else, but At least I'm doing well, and a lot of them are. Or they're in serious debt and are struggling bad, and they just don't reveal that. But I see a lot of people my age that are literally married or with kids and in a house and like living the life that we were all promised. That maybe a very small percent, I'm talking like not 5 to 10% of people, of millennials probably less, you know, a very small percentage of people even actually own a place. Because most people, I don't know, for all I know, most people are just renting and are, like I said, just scraping by. But anyway, that was the dreams. It was one horrifying one where I was literally being chased and thought I was going to get killed by a crazy person who used to be a good friend of mine. And the second one was living in a different place, away from everyone that I know here, many hours, at least a few hours away from people that I know here, and, you know, meeting a very special person and having some very strange interaction with, yet bizarre, like a bizarre yet normal interaction with Sean Penn. You know, just like random. It was very random. I like all dreams. Where dreams are like, they just, one thing jumps to the next and it's all, you know, like so immediate. It's weird how dreams you're literally like, every frame, what would be, I mean, it does play out like a movie in that way, doesn't it? Where it's just like, it's a jump cut. There are a lot of these jump cuts to things. If you're into dreams or into that type of movie too, or movies that talk about that, the few that come to mind, the one specifically is Waking Life. Waking Life by Richard Linklater is one of the best. I'm trying to avoid showing that I'm in my underwear right now. This is one of the best movies ever that I've ever seen. That literally is all about that, and the rotoscoping adds to that. Oh, it feels like you're in a dream kind of thing, and it's just really lovely for that reason. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready for work here, but that's what I dreamt of, and that's what I think of dreams in general. And I think that was so weird how many. I mean, I woke up in literally like almost like basically sweating a little bit and just being like feeling the intensity of that. Maybe that's why I'm like freaked out by dreams, is sometimes they're so intense and they're just so intensely vivid and real. They feel so real, and they feel like I'm really like moments in my dream when I was driving on the West Coast. I kept having a fear of, or it almost not turned into a nightmare, but I kept having these moments of like the GPS taking me into wrong areas and like the GPS kind of fucking me up because I didn't know where the hell I was. I will always need a GPS if I'm not driving in my own city, right? So there were a lot of moments like that where I think I was trying to get somewhere and I ended up like driving into a random public school in the middle of a like deep in the middle of a neighborhood, like again like some like wealthy private school or some shit. It was just bizarre. I just didn't, it's weird. You feel like so in control and not at all. There are the lucid dreams where people feel like they're very in control, and mine, I never feel like I'm in control. It's like they're like, when I'm dreaming, it's like somebody else is in the driver's seat or somebody else is controlling all of it. So that freaks me out a little bit because I feel like there's a lot of these things that it's like there are a lot of things that my subconscious is telling me too. Like I listen to that shit so closely. I'm like such an ear on the ground when it comes to when I'm trying to understand what my dreams are telling me. And in a funny way, I had such a crazy long sleep that was much needed. Obviously, I had such a crazy like sleep that it was like a hard reset for me too. It was like a hard, like suddenly I feel like this reality is not, I don't want to say it's not that bad, but suddenly I don't feel as like freaked out by this because I felt such intensity in my dreams, and it's like, all right, as long as nothing's that intense here now, I'll be fine today, like I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but basically I it's like I went through like such a large spectrum of emotions last night with that just like nice long, almost 12 hours, just even though I woke up in the middle of it all together, I probably slept like 10 or 11 plus hours. With all that, it's like I felt like I lived a million different lives last night, or at least like 2, 3 or 4 handful of different lives last night of like myself in a different universe, and that just feels very fast. It's so fascinating, and it's just like suddenly everything here is like small. Like, suddenly none of this really matters to me. It matters that much less to me than it already did. And everyone in this life here, you know, it's not that, but that supposed love of my life that I might have met at that bar or whatever, even though I don't know if I would meet the love of my life at a bar. There was that. There was feeling some sort of normal, like, connection to a literal, like, famous person, celebrity, and just kind of having a chill moment with a celebrity, and then someone, like, chasing me, making me feel like I was going to die or get seriously hurt, or like scary, like my old buddy scares me very much. He's scary because of how unpredictable he is and how he's not well. Sick people, you know, people that are not, like, well in the head, just are always, I'm always keeping, you know, one eyebrow raised at them, kind of thing. I don't trust them. I don't trust like that. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this here, but that's dreams are really fascinating to me, and I'm wondering what the next few will be. But man, yesterday didn't feel like it. Like, yesterday felt so quick, and then my dreams felt like multiple lifetimes, and now I'm back here, and I guess just a little somber at the thought of how underwhelming everything is once again outside of my dreams.
Rebel, this is a mess.
We got like an hour and a half left, but we've just been busy all day.
Hot tramp!
Yeah.
I love you so.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, you really got the moves. Oh, us. There's no one ever here. It's just you and me. Like, the vlog. Like, if anyone's watching these vlogs, they got to be really into you and me.
Well, Rob's here sometimes, but yeah, because I forget. Usually, it's like there was literally one I was watching, and it was like, all right, I'm going to work. All right, Rob's leaving. Was like the
yeah,
next and
then it's just you and me being like, let's get deep about stuff. Like, if anybody really is watching these, they got to be like thinking we're pretty cool. I hope.
Definitely.
Either they think we're super cool, or they're like sitting with their friends just laughing. Either way, we're getting views. So thanks, guys. Send your money to P.O. Box the Hemp.
I honestly think the only people that are watching are the ones that have been like long time viewers of just whatever bullshit I was posting on that channel. Not bullshit, just like a lot of like rants and just all sorts of shit.
Well, you did share it on Instagram, so maybe we got like some new followers. Maybe somebody was like,
I didn't see anybody new on it recently. Yeah, sorry to say. I think it's just like long-term people, or like I said, like just people that have been there and probably want to see if there's like a train wreck or something.
People that just want to see it crash and burn. It's alright.
Yeah, like that's what I can see people like.
That's what.
Or just or I don't know. Maybe I struck a chord with somebody and they
that might
felt
be nice.
Something. That's also possible too.
That's the dream, right? That you reach out and touch someone.
Yeah, like space.
Yeah. Reach out and touch faith.
Reach out and touch someone.
Oh no, that's how you end up in jail.
Yeah.
Reaching out and touching someone.
Yeah. Try my best to not show everything, so I don't know. I might have to cut this here, I guess. I'll just film the ground the rest of this. Yeah, here we go.
It's called art.
Jesus, silent. We were really busy today. Or had enough to keep us busy today, I guess.
Yeah, it picked up at the end.
Yeah.
Time to clock out. There you go. Okay. This, I gotta get these boxes. We can probably put everything inside the box, the trash.
Okay.
And I can just carry the one thing.
Let me just put this away. I'll be right back. mission accomplished. I'm gonna go home and well, I'm gonna get gas first. Then I'm gonna go home and just, I don't know, maybe work on some music or watch a movie. I feel like it's been a minute since I've watched a movie and done a review, so I actually really, I should watch a movie tonight. Or something. I want to watch something like substantial that I won't be like, you know, fully committing to, like a TV show or a book or something. Something that I could finish in a couple hours. Sounds nice. But yeah, hitting the road now, so I will see you all at home or at the gas station. Okay, so first off, I'm very excited that JP sent me some updated files of the songs, so I'm excited to listen to those when I get home. Second thing, let's see if my car stalls out on me or not. I think it only happens when I fill up completely. I'm about like 3/4 of the way there because I just gave whatever cash I had to them. $22 got me like 5 gallons of gas. So let's see if my car stalls out of me or not. I don't think it will. I think it's only when I fill up, but just in case, I usually like try to take another route so I'm not driving out into the open road. This is how I think of safety, is like, I'm driving the opposite direction right now of where I'm supposed to go, just in case something happens. I'd rather have it happen in the middle of this road over here instead of out there, not only for my own safety, but so I'm not inconveniencing people and stalling out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I think I'm good. Everything's running normally though. So let's just do a U-turn. Like usually it happens within like 30 seconds, it happens like pretty quickly, so I guess I'm good. Let's see, this is what, like, having an old car that doesn't work 100% of the time is like, and it's not a big deal. Like the reason I haven't gotten it fixed is because it only happens right when I fill, if I do fill it up, and then it doesn't happen. It happens literally once. I turn the car off, I turn it back on, everything's fine. So it's like you can deal with it. It's not that big of that detrimental is what I'm saying. It's not that bad for it, but it's just annoying more than anything. But for the sake of my safety, I don't want it stalling out when I'm like crossing an intersection or something like that. Yeah, should be good on that. So we're gonna get home and I'm gonna listen to the songs, and I'm hoping that they sound even better. And I'll catch y'all in a bit when I am done with all that. I smashed up some raspberries and yogurt and put some honey in there, and it's pretty good. Just listened to some updated files of the album, and holy shit, I'm very excited about this. There's something, it's one thing to record a song and hear it back, but once you hear it really well mixed and hear it exactly, or as close to how it was in your head, it's just the most amazing feeling in the world. So I'm so ecstatic to share it with the world. I really just wanted to share it with you all so badly, but gotta make sure it all sounds exactly the way we want it to, and that just takes a lot of time. Whenever people have time to do this stuff too. A lot of artists work on all sorts of different things. A lot of musicians are all involved in all sorts of different projects, but I really appreciate everyone that's been involved in this, and I'm so happy with how it's sounding. It's a little after 2:30, and I totally got sidetracked and forgot to check in, but that's it. I gotta edit this. I guess I don't know how long this one's gonna be. Probably a shorter one, but that's okay. I just was kind of lost in enjoying my life and I guess relaxing. And I was looking at my phone for too long just now. Really, is really what happened. I've been watching the Seinfeld commentary. Here's what happened, I guess, how I literally just went down a rabbit hole on my phone, because this is usually what happens. I'm watching the Seinfeld commentary, and they mention John F. Kennedy Jr., and I was thinking, Is he alive? Like I vaguely remember like reading that he died somehow. I looked into how he died, and he and his wife and his wife's older sister died in a plane crash in 1999. I found it interesting that so this is from the episode The Contest, and it's just Jerry doing commentary on it. I thought that was interesting because Larry wrote it. Larry David's the reason why it's like the most famous episode ever, probably. Or it's just I got comfortable and enjoyed hearing both of them. Usually it was like both of them doing the commentary together. So it's interesting that it's just Jerry. But anyway, he was talking about how they had a mutual fascination with the Kennedys, and I thought it was interesting that this is most likely around or after John F. Kennedy Jr. died, and he didn't say anything about it. But anyway, I looked that up. Then I looked up like Robert F. Kennedy's assassination and just the Kennedy family tree, and then went on a whole rabbit hole on Instagram. And that's how it happens. And that's why there's nothing else on here, is because I was watching something, one thing led to another. That's usually how I end up getting lost on my phone, is I'll literally be watching something, have a desire to pause it and look something up, or like just reference something and learn more about a specific topic like that, and then hours go by after watching a bunch of garbage on Instagram, basically. But also, I actually did find a band that I thought was pretty interesting. Fuck, I already forgot the name of the band though. Let me find them. Something Bedford? Camp Bedford? Yeah, that's what it was. The band's called Camp Bedford, and I saw an ad of theirs. And usually I always scroll past ads. I'm always like, oh, this is stupid, this is lame. And for once I was just like, oh, fuck it, let me see what this is. And I don't know, I just ended up going on their page, seeing, well, what if I like some of their songs. And I did. I ended up liking a couple of their songs, and I thought that was kind of cool. Sometimes let me just put my hand in something in the wet sink here. Sometimes Instagram ads work. Sometimes stuff does find the right audience. A lot of this stuff now, as far as like the modern world with how art is received, or how people like share their stuff, it's I fucking hate it. But sometimes every once in a while it does reach. Some certain things do reach the right audience. Hopefully that gets better, at least, because there's just the oversaturation of it is really what the problem is with all that stuff. That's the only problem I have with it, is the oversaturation, and there's being too much shit that you can't find the stuff that you like. But that's it for the vlog today. I'm tired, and I'm happy to say that I'm tired. I get to go to sleep soon, and I have the day off tomorrow, so I can really sleep in as long as I want. Even though I already usually do sleep in as long as I want. But as you can see, sometimes I have, if you've watched the last couple days of vlogs, I sometimes have trouble sleeping, and a day off just means I can really soak it in as much as I want. All right, yeah, bye.